What is up, everyone? My name's Ashura and welcome back. Now I'm just gonna jump right into it. If your meta over at your store is filled with Doffy, Shanks, all kinds of aggro, check out this list up here. This is classic Enel, this is full starve, and this we got a couple new tech pieces for control. So I'm gonna go ahead and show those off to you guys. This list is tailor suited to help you guys stay alive, help you guys take out their board, and even control their hand size. So here it is. Check out this first card. We've got KUZAN. KUZAN is the truth. On play, you can place one of your opponent's cost 3 or less characters into their life face up, top or bottom, and then they've got to trash a card. And so you also get a 5k body out of this. He's got counter. This card is just amazing for Enel. He is both controlling the board, he is controlling your opponent's hand size, and he makes your Yamatos, your Gedatsus even stronger. This card is the truth. I'm telling you guys. You are guys gonna want a mulligan for this card if your opponent is playing any sort of searchers, if they're playing any sort of aggro that is going to be low cost, then this is the card you want to be playing. You want to go second. Just drop this in your second turn. Your opponent's going to have played something. You're putting that to their life. Your Gedatsu is not going to hit for 6. Your Yamato is not going to hit for 6 minimum or 7, because guess what? You're usually going to be at 1 life. So, 6 minimum if you're in that desperate mode of you're at 0 life. But this card helps make the deck so much stronger, because not only that, you're also running Monkey D. Luffy, naturally Rocket Luffy. This is going to pop anything that's 4 or less. It's going to draw you cards, and it's got triggers, so you can pop this out of your life. You can use it as Nami fodder. This card is great for the deck. I'm running it as a 3-of. I know some people are running it as a 2-of or not at all, but I think that's a mistake. I think 3 is a great spot for this card. It is going to pop a lot of things for you in this meta, and if everything else fails, it's got counter. You can use this to help yourself stay alive, and it's a 6k character, so playing it, having some board presence, attacking to something, pop something else, grab a card. What's not to like about this? Now, this isn't a new card by any means. This came out in EBO1, but Blocker Shirahoshi is now making a stand in this deck. This card is amazing against black. It helps you stay alive. It makes you either get a block off or you get a life out of it. And let me just tell you, that's a huge win. There are ways around this card, but it does force your opponent to then use resources against it, which for 2 Dawn, oftentimes they're spending more than that to get rid of it. So for me, it's a huge win. I'm running this personally as a 3-up. I think it's great to be able to play out, even against decks like Doffy, where they can put it away in your deck. Now they're wasting a slot from that Gravity Blade, where instead of bottom decking something that could attack like a Gedatsu, now they're forcing it on a blocker. And because we are Enel and we have so much survivability, even without the Shirahoshi blocker, this is still a huge win for us. Now, I mentioned it earlier, but we are running Gedatsu as a 4-of. Gedatsu in combination with KUZAN is just amazing. It is great both board control and hand control. There have been many times where I played 2 KUZANs. Now my opponent has trashed 2 cards from hand. Now their board is down 2 characters, and they're at 7 life. So now Gedatsu, when I'm playing him out, is popping a 7 cost or lower, and that is just backbreaking in this deck. I mean, we've still got Nami for 5 cost, Luffy for 4 cost, and then not to mention, we have Yamato, the big bad, who is then going to start popping 8 costs for us if we have used KUZAN twice, and that is just disgusting. That is gross. I mean, their board is just not safe. While we're deleting their board constantly and staying alive through Yamato, Katakuri, Ace, we are just gathering resources on the board. We're getting body after body and getting big bodies on board, so that way at the end of the day, we're looking at them, they've got 2 cards in hand, they're at 7 or 8 life, but that doesn't matter because they've got no board. We've got a board filled with 9 costs, we've got a board filled with Gedatsus or Katakuris, Ace, whatever it is, and now it's just time for us to start taking life one by one and slowly whittling them down, still controlling the board with whatever they have to play, because otherwise they're going to lose. There's no way that they can't play cards in this game. So that is the game plan. I mean, Gedatu, KUZAN, and Yamato, those 3 cards right there is just going to break your opponent's aggro deck. It's going to break it down in shambles. And I've played this against Bonnie too, which is a defensive deck, and it breaks them down as well. This new Enel deck is just toxic and going to destroy, and it is going to break your opponent's decks. I mean, if they don't know how to play around this card and they're playing low cost stuff, it's GG's, honestly. Not to mention, we are playing Rygo. I mean, this is nothing new. We have always had this as a 4-up in the deck, but it can't be overstated just how much KO power this deck has. Not only is it KOing stuff that is 7 cost or 8 cost and less, but let's say they play a 10 drop for Shanks. Every time you're going to play Rygo to get rid of that. You're going to look for Rygo, honestly, when you're playing against Shanks, to just destroy that 10 cost Shanks. Even if you're at 2 life and you gotta trash your life, it doesn't matter. Your survivability is paramount at that point, and you just get rid of that card. Any 10 cost, you're just, boom, that thing is done. Game over. You've still got 4 Dawn to work with on that turn, so it is quite easy to be getting out of these situations, be able to control that board, and truly just come out on top in these games. I've been playing Enel at locals, and let me tell you, I'm just dominating with him. He is a true terror. There are a few of us in my locals, and no one is safe. He is absolutely tearing it up. Any deck he's faced against, he is just slamming over and over and over. It is just tough to deal with these big bodies and all this KO power that gets brought to the table. And if all that wasn't enough, I mean, look at this. We're running 2 Shirahoshis. Typically, we're running a bit more this time around because we're a little bit more focused on our KO power. We're going to be cycling a little bit less with Shirahoshi. But if you are looking to be able to maybe not cycle Shirahoshi and you are okay losing that counter power, then what you can do is run Dareshi. Dareshi just came out in this set, and it lets you look at the top 5 and grab 2 trigger cards. So this is a 1 for 2, which is quite amazing. I personally have not put it into my deck because I like to be able to bounce the Shirahoshi to my life with Katakuri. I think having the counter power is quite important, but Dareshi is a great option. I know some people who have gone down with Rocket Luffy's perhaps to include Dareshi's here, and I don't think that's a bad choice at all. Dareshi serves a great purpose. Again, a 1 for 2 is amazing, can't be overstated, and at the end of the day, it does have triggers, so you can trigger it if you need to, or just throw it away with Nami if you need that KO power. So Dareshi is also a great honorable mention here. I know it's made a lot of Enel decks. Take a look at it, guys. It could easily replace Shirahoshi in this list to be a little bit more flexible if that's the way you choose to play. So again, this deck is amazing. It is just toxic. Trust me, I've had a couple people rage on the other side of the table just because they are not having a good time with how Enel plays, and KUZAN just makes it even dirtier, where now even their hand, even though it wasn't safe before because we're full starving them, it's even more deadly. They just are not safe at all. I've had KUZAN out, you know, trash a card, put a card away, and now I'm swinging into their life with it, and now they're just questioning why they're even sitting there against Enel. And so, guys, take this list here, go out there and spread the word of Enel. And if you like this deck list, if you like Enel, do what he would do and hit that button down below to like and subscribe. And guys, I will see you next time in OP09 with the new Enel deck list that I'm going to be coming out with. Peace.